Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Double the Dice Plays Tomb of Annihilation. We last left our heroes. Last episode was a little bit of a Looney Tunes adventure. They had a run-in with the Flaming Fist and tried to get away, and then tried to hide, and then tried to distract, and then drew more attention, and then turned into a bear, and all kinds of other things, and eventually vanished and made the most intimidating stealth check ever by using bear tracks to cover their own tracks on their way out. Then we all went to take a rest. We were uneventful rest, except for the fact that Lila got harassed by the Night Hag again, losing even more of her maximum hit points and not recovering any of her spells from the previous day. However, in the morning, she got a message from Syndra Sylvain detailing the strengths and limitations of the ability, the Night Hag's ability that Lila was being affected by. And they learned that protection from evil and good could protect them from this being going forward, or interrupt the being, which would prevent them from using the ability again, or which would prevent them from completing the ritual to mess them up. Unfortunately, no one in the party has that spell, so now it sounds like there was a member of the Flaming Fist posse that looked like they might have been a cleric of some kind. They wore holy paraphernalia. So even though they don't have the Chart of Exploration, it sounds like the party might be going back to maybe see if they can pay the mercenaries for assistance. And with that, we return to our heroes in camp, deliberating on what we're doing. Also, Treviathan won't be joining us tonight, but he'll be back next week or the following week or something like that. He's just out for a while. So, what are we going to do?
That's a good question.
Well, excuse me. I think we had basically all but decided to go down there, and if we weren't already on our way down there.
Yeah, I think just saying
Like,
who's all going and who's hiding and where for the people who aren't going, where they will be.
I think if I remember correctly, did we send just one? Did we just send Caladram in?
I believe so, but I think we also wanted to send Yen Ben as well due to the ranger nature.
I don't know if you had actually left camp yet.
No, we haven't yet. So, speaking of camp, did we want to do morning tours and
morning
stuff?
routine? Yeah. Let's mark off those insect repellents. We all roll for weather. So I think that one's medium rainfall. I unfortunately closed my GM screen. How foolish is that?
Oh, dare.
We only just started. It's all falling apart. Oh, no.
Yeah. That one's light. A light rain. So that means...
Oh, no.
Pardon me.
It's the night hag.
We just started. So each rain catcher gathers half a gallon of water. So you get a total of 2.5 gallons from last night's rain.
All right, yep.
A pretty good start. I could do... Oh, we were going to look... Okay, so there was one related question that we were talking about. should we ever encounter the materials to make a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have proficiency in Arcana.
Okay, so does
not yet.
our resident wizard or warlock have proficiency in Arcana?
Yep.
Yep.
I have proficiency in Arcana.
Okay, so with the appropriate materials, either one of them could help you create a scroll.
I could make a new recipe-ish that I can't put in my book, but it's there, written weird.
like
I've never seen a
notes.
scroll like this before.
I feel like protection from evil and good could, like, it feels like the kind of flavor of spell that should be a ritual, but it's not written that way, so I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what the criteria is.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm kind of curious, though. You know, because every system has its rules for classifying magic, right?
Yeah, 5e, it's arbitrary. This spell can be cast as a ritual, but this one can't. So, anyway.
Yeah, so did we want to... the morning chores are done, so now we can go back to Lila, and then Bob has access to Yen Ben's character sheet, so to have
Yep.
Bob...
I am Yen
Ben
Ben
and-
today.
I'll hang out with the guides, protect them from any wandering cannibals. I'll make a tower so you can find your way back. They start molding earth.
Wonderful.
Just playing with your new favorite cantrip.
How high can I make it? Yay! Best dirt jungle castle anyone has ever seen.
This just reminds me of Minecraft when you're trying to find your way back and you just look for the big post of dirt that you made.
Exactly.
Or everyone's first Minecraft house that you build out of blocks of dirt.
Yeah.
And then I can
or
cast,
cobble.
if I make a tower big enough, I can cast a create bonfire on top too.
There you go.
I'll be able to. It'll track everything around us, but also the friends. But
No, what you really need to do is you need to put a block of netherrack on top and then light that on fire, and then it'll burn forever.
where am I going to find netherrack in the jungle?
Well, first you get 10 obsidian.
Fast. The little fast forward symbol appears. We just pretend to talk.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see. Where were we? So I believe we're all still in the same hex as the mercenaries.
Yes.
So who is going back to that beach? Galadremen and Yen Ben, right? Everybody
Yen
else
Ben.
is hiding?
Yes.
Okay. So Yen Ben
Yeah.
Yen Ben says to Lila, all right, well, I'm going to hide back a little ways. I'm not one for talking. So you go up there and you do your thing, and I'll just be ready to end trouble if they decide to start it.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're mighty welcome. Any other things before we begin this encounter?
I mean,
Lila, did you write down the extra goal that?
oh yes, I
gave
did.
you
I did.
anyway?
I did. Yeah, you gave us.
Okay.
Okay, that was a
Oh.
different note. Sorry. I think I did. I think it was about 30 gold total, wasn't it? That we had.
Yeah, I gave you 11.
in the
So
pack? Okay, that sounds right. I know I have it written down, but okay, so okay, so I guess I'm gonna just walk in there. I don't really know how to walk in there any other way than a very Lila way, which is just kind of
You're supposed to be there. It's fine.
a little
You
bit
got
loud.
this.
Well, you know that they're not going to be as receptive to you without the Charter of Exploration. How do you plan on working around that? What's your goal here? Or rather, what's your
Sorry,
tactic?
I just need to. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Can we just pause for a quick moment?
Let's take a timeout. We'll pause the recording and be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again. So, we were just returning to the Flaming Fist, Galadremen. What is your tactic in dealing with the fact that you want to get these guys help, but you do not have the Charter of Exploration?
I don't necessarily need to talk to the whole group.
Okay.
If I can try to, did I see like where we see the cleric? Did we get any idea of what his location was?
He was right in with the rest of that patrol that was parking the boats when you guys were on the beach.
It's been a night, so
Okay.
I'll say that as you and Yenben approach, you notice that they're sort of rummaging through Castigliar a little bit, just kind of briefly as they pack up camp and get ready to move forward. They are not far from where they did not immediately start moving inland.
Okay, so I guess maybe I can do a little perception check or a little investigation check to see if I can identify him from who's walking around. I know Yenben's kind of hanging back, but
you could do
do you have a
perception.
preference on?
I mean,
perception?
you could also work with I think Yenben would give you advantage on this, trying to scope out the situation before you commit to moving in.
Sure.
So go ahead and roll a perception check with advantage. I think we're going to go with that 18. So on an 18 perception, you can see that the acolyte is not far from the rest of the group. He is, he's in the midst of preparing his spells for the day. And over by a campfire, it doesn't look like there's necessarily an easy way for you to just walk up and talk to him on his own. He's the only healer in their party, so the rest of the group is kind of committed to keeping him safe, you know? You got to protect
I know, but okay, but as I start walking up to the campfire, are they all there shoulder to shoulder at the campfire, or is there some space? Can you kind of give me
there's some space. I'd say there's 2 or 3 of the guards are off rummaging through one of the buildings nearby. They're spread over maybe a 20 to 30 foot area, kind of. They've got some tents and bedrolls around them. 1 or 2 of them are cooking. And then looks like there's one that's more heavily armored that was talking to John off the bat. Upon closer examination, you can tell that he's a knight.
Okay.
And he is he's discussing the matters of the day with someone who is much more lightly dressed with a bow slung over their shoulder, looking over some maps together. It looks like that person might be their navigator.
Okay.
But yeah, the acolyte's sitting with his back against a wall somewhere. He's set up a little stool and kind of, not a desk, but almost more like trying to write out stuff on a clipboard. And he's kind of using that to prepare his spells?
So I'm going to I'm gonna kind of sort of quietly kind of walk up to him, and since he's preparing his spells, and as a druid, I know what it's like to prepare spells in the jungle. I'm going to show him my own notebook.
Like okay, hold on. Notebook. So you want to just walk straight up to the acolyte?
Like casually.
Okay. So you're not making any attempt to hide yourself, right? So I would say with a 7 perception check, none of the guards really notice as you walk up because that's a very low perception check, even whether you're hiding or not. And so you manage to walk up to the acolyte and you kind of startle him, and everyone notices that.
Okay, and so
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, wait, what the fuck? Who are you?
And then I laugh and I apologize and I say, "Hey, I'm sorry, man." And I'm going to introduce myself to him, and I said, I noticed that you are writing all your spells, and I show him my own notebook that I have a different kind of paper that you can get in in Port Nine that is resistant to the rain. And I'm okay. I know this is such a pain in the ass, but this stuff I found actually works. So I kind of try to share that with him as like a nice icebreaker / opener. To kind of, can I get
go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So with that, I'd say maybe he already I think he flips through his own book and he shows you that he has actually the exact same paper. It's like, I mean, thank you. That's very nice of you, but it's not. I agree. It's much better. You said your name was Lila?
Yeah. What's your name?
I don't know. His name is Henry.
Hi, Henry.
My name is Henry. He kind of backs up and he does create some space. These people are paranoid. They've been in Chult before.
Fair enough. All right. And I let him have his space, right? I let him have it. I don't try to close the distance.
I think at that point, actually, the knight sees that you've walked up to the acolyte and says, Henry, don't just stand there. You know what we say to adventurers. Oh, Charter of Exploration and Identification, please.
And I kind of laugh and I say, "Oh, Henry, I'm not an explorer. I'm a druid with the Emerald
Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored.
Is the sheet of exploration, is that a sponsorship?
No, she said, "Oh, Henry."
Oh.
Oh, Henry.
Went over my head.
Yeah. Oh, no. Sorry. And I accidentally spaced out laughing at my own joke. Can you repeat that, please?
I was explaining to, and I kind of look at the knight as I say this. I'm not an explorer. I'm a druid with the Emerald Enclave.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the region killing undead, which I'm sure you are aware there are plenty of.
We're on the same mission. We've been hired to do the same thing.
So in the name of that mission, I have some information that I would like to trade with you for some help, if possible.
Well, I'll have to talk to my manager about that. And he goes and he scurries off to the knight. He whispers in his ear a little bit. Knight comes walking over.
Couldn't the knight hear our conversation though? I thought he was like watching this interaction.
He was, but the acolyte just seemed. You get the impression that the acolyte was just uncomfortable.
Oh. Well,
big, strong half-orc that could squish him, coming up to him in an environment where he does not feel safe. There's nothing you could say that would make him feel super safe. Just not openly hostile, you know?
Okay, I might be like big and muscly, but I also was being nice.
You were being very nice. This is a him thing, not a you thing.
Lilac, by the way,
this is a small. This is like a small holy man who is journeying into the jungle, surrounded by 10 people stronger than him. And
tiny acolyte.
Safe.
Well, then I don't know what I can do about that. That sounds like
the knight. No. The knight approaches you, and he seems very amenable. Sorry about Henry there. He's just kind of skittish around new people. So you're not exploring. You're here to kill undead, just like us. That's wonderful.
Yes. So, sorry, Henry. Didn't mean to make you uncomfortable, buddy. And I kind of wink at him. And then I...
just make him more uncomfortable.
Yes. It's all in good fun, right? Exactly. Anyway, so... well, the long and short of it is that there is a night hag, and she's been coming into people's dreams in this part of the jungle. And I was hoping that by sharing a little bit of information about that with you, Henry might be willing to help me by protecting me against good and evil for a short period of time.
Why would you need protection from good?
Well, it's a both kind of thing. You can't do one or the other, I guess.
Actually, I think when you cast the spell, you choose.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's sort of like the enlarge reduce spell. It's the same spell, okay, but you don't both enlarge and reduce them at the same time.
That would be fun, though.
That's not very funny. You yell enlarge reduce for a split second. You don't know what it's going to be. So you're like, wait, okay, so it's
yeah, you
for
roll
like parts
and
enlarge
it's like
and parts reduce.
Yeah, it's 50% chance.
I like that idea. Yeah, if you decide to cast it that way, there's only a 50% chance that it actually consumes a spell slot. Just
okay,
kidding. That's ridiculous.
Then purple smoke. Well, I was really just looking for protection against evil, obviously, because night hag. But both are great, you know.
I mean, just don't we all want to be protected from everything, right?
Right, except for she is... The informative bit of this is she doesn't just come into your dreams. When she does that, she takes some of your life force from you.
So this is a night hag you're talking about?
Yes.
Henry, do you know anything about this shit? And he waves he encourages the acolyte to come back and talk to you for a little bit. I'll do an Arcana check for Henry here. Let's see what he says. That is not great. let me actually just
Henry.
double check his
So
character
sorry.
sheet. I don't think he has proficiency in. Nope, he does not have any bonuses to Arcana, so that's just going to be a straight 6. Says I know what a hag is. Night hag specifically. Okay. I'm guessing they're some kind of fae. They do hag stuff, you know.
Well, they do hag stuff. They haunt you in your dreams, and then they make you weaker and weaker until you die. Now, that's currently what's happening to me.
I see. And the knight says, so, do you have your Charter of Exploration?
I thought we talked about this.
I hate to be a dick about it, but with the Flaming Fist, we are barred from helping you unless you've purchased a Charter of Exploration at Fort Brulerulian. It's part of the rules. That's one of the benefits of buying that charter. If we just give away our services to everybody, then why would anyone buy a charter, right?
Well, I see it this way. You don't have any authority over me to make me buy a charter, but you do want gold.
Well, here's the thing. If you buy a charter, you're under the protection of the Flaming Fist, and we will assist you. And he gestures to the 9 guards that are over there. If you do not have a Charter of Exploration, then you are not under our protection, and therefore you are subject to providing us with. You are a subject of the other half of our goals here in Chult, which is to gather loot and clear out all of the very dangerous ruins of their lost artifacts.
I don't think that you seriously expect me to go back into town and buy a charter just so that I can pay you some gold so that you might not help me with your friend here who doesn't seem to know much about night hags. When I said I presumed you wanted some gold, that meant I was willing to pay you. I don't have time to go back to town.
How would you like to proceed? Would you like to use that, what you just said, to make a persuasion check, an intimidation check, anything like that?
Okay, we're going to go intimidation this time.
Do you want to add, now that you're deciding to make an intimidation check, is there anything else you'd like to add to make it more intimidating?
I mean, I can mention to both the Emerald Enclave and Sildra Sylvain that you guys were unwilling to help.
Okay.
And I don't think the Circle of Druids nor Syndra would be overly thrilled.
All right, go ahead and roll your intimidation check.
Name draw.
Yeah, name dropping. Now it's just a straight roll. So it'll just take we'll just take that first one.
Well, why did it do?
It's in your settings. So it's okay. We can talk about how to fix that later. But rolling with advantage is fine. If I don't ask you for it, then we'll just take the first one. In this case, it's a 5.
Fine. Okay. All right. So, well, that didn't go.
It didn't really make any big difference. They're still resolute, and you see the guards are starting to kind of close off exits for you. And they're saying, now, we're not here to hurt people. However, we're not above taking your stuff.
So you guys would rather get in a fight and possibly some of you get injured or die rather than just have, oh, I don't know, 30 gold pieces and we call it a day?
There's 10 or more of us here. What are you going to do by yourself? Now, I'm going to take a quick timeout here for a second from the actual moment. Did you and Yenben agree on any kind of signal to indicate that you wanted his help?
I don't really think we've had an opportunity to. Now that I think about it,
walking up to these guys, they weren't like, it was more than a 10-minute walk. So we can flash back and say that you guys were planning this out and came up with some kind of signal.
Okay.
If that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea at this point. Because he would have surprise, right? He would be able to surprise them.
Mm-hmm. Because you've given no indication that he is close by.
Right.
Actually, Bob the Krill, I will ask you to make a stealth check for Yenben right now.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll even give him advantage because I'm feeling generous. 19.
Did that just roll straight? Yeah.
Yeah, it just rolled straight.
Okay, there's one more.
So we're sticking with the 19. That's still pretty good.
Ooh.
So Yenben will definitely be surprising them.
Okay. Well, and at this point, like in the interaction, Lila is starting. She's angry, to be completely honest, but she's starting to laugh because she's like, just completely abashed at how unwilling and to help and how selfish these guys are.
Here's another question. Do you even have any weapons on you?
Well, yes, but I also don't necessarily need them.
I mean, that's what they've asked you for, is for you to give them your weapons.
No, they're threatening me to kill me and take my loot.
They didn't say anything about killing you.
I did not get the impression that
we're not here. They said, we are not here to hurt anybody, but we are not above taking your stuff. You get the impression that if they can knock you out, they would rather do that. But, like, they're not out to kill you. And if you give them your stuff, there's no fight. This is a holdup. It's not, like, they're mugging you. They're not out to murder you.
Okay, but
that's how they justify themselves.
They're
still very bad people.
You know what? She's going to say this to them directly. You can have whatever justification you want for holding people up in the jungle and taking their money and taking their stuff. But by even just refusing to allow me to pay you for help, you are essentially leaving me for dead. You guys realize that? Like, this night hag will keep haunting me until I am dead. And I will not be able to come back. I will not be able to be resurrected. And I will not be able to stop or even try to stop what the hell is going on out here. But you're more worried about taking my shit.
No. 2 years ago, long before this whole death curse I've been hearing so much about started to happen, my sister died. And she didn't get resurrected either. You know why? We didn't have the money to pay for it. So, as far as I'm concerned, for most of us in the world, nothing has changed.
So instead of being a better person and doing the thing that you wish somebody else would have done, you're going to pass on your suffering to someone else.
It's a dog-eat-dog world. What can I say? Now, are you going to we'll be nice. Give us half your gold and any weapons you have, and we'll call it even. Say, Henry. Do you know that spell that she wanted? Yeah. I was just in the middle of preparing my spells. I could prepare it. You want him to cast it on you right now?
I need to do it before I go to... I need to go do it when I'm sleeping. The hag comes when I'm sleeping. Listen, I can give you guys all my gold and the staff. All right? It's just a staff. It's just a wooden staff. Nothing fancy. But I've got about 30 gold.
How are you surviving out here on your own?
Told you, I'm a druid. I can forage for food. I have certain abilities.
By yourself. That's impressive. I'll tell you what. We're traveling. We're going off to Mesro. We're going to clear out the last of that ruin. And then we're heading south. You help us, and we'll help you. We will unofficially hire you as a member of the Flaming Fist. True and proper.
Well, I'm flattered, to tell the truth. But I told you I work for the Enclave, and I do. I have a mission that I'm on out here. Like I said, more than willing to pay for the help. I'll give you the 30 gold for it. But
I think that's a little shy.
I have work to do.
What kind of spell is that? I think they technically classify it as a first level spell, which usually would be minimum market value of about 100 gold to cast.
I'll tell you what, gentlemen. I mean, I have casting abilities of my own. Is there anything that you need mended? Is there anything that you need?
First level spell for a first level spell. Do you have Goodberry? When was the last time y'all had a Goodberry?
I can make some good berries. I can make up to 5. I want to say up to 5.
I thought it was 10. I think it's just... I'm pretty sure it's 10.
All right. Okay, well, I trust your word on that one. I don't need to dig right now. But, okay, so a first level spell for a first level spell?
Sounds fair to me.
All right. So I go ahead and...
You'll have to stick with us. We're not slowing down our travels for you. We're heading to Mesro. You can stick with us, and then we do our spell exchange. Or if you want to stick with us after that and keep us in the good berries. Doesn't sound so bad.
Out of character question.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Lila's exhausted, and it's what time? I mean,
Probably
exhausted
still
We're still in the
metaphorically.
early morning.
I mean, so even if she tries to go to sleep now, it's not gonna.
And they're
Is
not
the
going to
hag
stop
gonna-
for you, right? They're going to...
Well, I'm not. Out of character, I don't think it makes sense for Lila to leave with them.
Fair.
Like, whatever they say, like, it seems like it's a. So I don't know. Like, I can't abandon the party. I'm not going to abandon the party. So.
Well, what... do you voice this to them?
Well, I've already said to them directly
Yeah.
that I have a mission to do and that I do not intend to travel onward with them.
Well, here's the thing. Looking at the map, I'll take you back to the player's map. Mesro is on the way to where you guys are going. It's en route.
Yes, but nobody else knows, except for maybe Yenben at this point,
Except Yenben.
where I am and where I'm going.
Mhm.
So,
It's up to you. I don't know how much I can add without
Well,
breaking immersion or whatever.
Henry chimes in and says, I've been to Mesro several times. What do you know about this night hag? Is it Fae?
I don't think it's actually Fae. It's a different
But it-
kind of hag.
You would
I mean,
recall that it was identified to the party that night hags are actually fiends, not Fae.
Ah, right. Yeah. Okay. So no, she's a fiend. She's not Fae. Not that
Ooh.
it matters much to me.
I might have a safe place where you can hide out, but it'll cost you 30 gold.
All right. Where is it?
Gold first.
Okay. And I've got my gold pouch in my hand. Is it a magic circle? Can you make
It's
me
a-
a circle, boy?
It's a holy site where fiends cannot enter.
Yeah. Interesting. Is it close?
Slowly inching the money forward, asking questions like,
2 or 3 days, depending on how quickly you move.
Mm-mm. No. We're not doing another night of this.
It's the only place I know.
Can you make a magic circle?
That's beyond my means. I think magic circle's like a 5th level spell.
Like,
It's higher than this person is capable of casting, for sure.
okay. Dang. Wishful thinking, I guess. Well, listen, I can maybe go with you guys one day towards Mesro. Spell for a spell, and I'll call that a deal.
Do you still want to know about this holy site? You want to know about the holy site?
Why do I want to know about the holy site? Acolyte.
No. I see what you did there. Fancy rhyme, very nice. Because if you're at a holy site where fiends are not allowed, you could sleep there every night and not have to worry.
But if you do my spell for me, then I won't have to worry, will I?
I'm not sure. I don't know enough about night eggs to be able to guarantee that.
All right. Well, I'm willing to give it a try. We can talk about the holy site. I'm still not convinced, but I can go with you out a day. Like I said, and I'll make you some good berries. That seem fair?
All right. But we're still going to take your staff. We can't trust anybody around here with weapons. That's not... We need to keep ourselves safe. Either you're under our employ, you're protected by us, or we can't trust you. Fair enough?
Okay. I mean, you can have my staff. It won't do you much good, though.
All right. So they take your staff from you. And Yenben is... You just sort of see his face in the woods as you, like, from the edge of the trees, as you start moving with them southward. Like, the fuck you doing? Where are you going? Just, like, not saying anything, being silent. Just like...
Hey, can I see him at all? Can I turn and, like...
Do you want to try to communicate with him? You can see him. He's revealing himself to you very carefully. And he's trying to encourage you to come back so that... But if you leave, then you don't know where the... You don't want to give away his position.
Right. So I'm going
Track
to...
is fine.
So I guess if this is... Maybe this is a deception thing, or maybe this is a stealth thing. I'll take your judgment on it. But if I can try to make a gesture to Yenben that shows him the direction that I'm going in, and try to indicate for one day without them seeing it.
That might be a sleight of hand.
Okay.
I
All right,
think
we can try it.
Retithorus would have been. I think we sent Retithorus with you at the end of last.
Retithorus is.
Oh, he was in the bag.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
So-
out of nowhere, I feel the hand moving in my bag, and then I...
He
It's
tickles
like
you.
shifting impatiently.
Gives you a little tickle.
Like
Yeah.
a purse
Shifting
puppy
impatiently?
that needs to go to the bathroom. Like...
Okay, so I'm guessing Retithorus wants out of my bag. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna like gently try to like pull him out of. So I guess I've got to do one sleight
It's
of
still
hand.
going to
for
be a
this, which-
sleight of hand to get him out of the bag and do what you want to do without the flaming fist noticing the hand.
And you
noticing
know
my
what?
little
I
friend.
think maybe because this is an important role, I will use a portent roll.
You know what?
His familiar.
I'll allow it because your familiar is there. That is really clever. That
Yes.
is nice.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I
Perfect.
didn't think of that. So what portent roll would you like to use?
I have an 18.
Okay.
We'll just get him out of there.
So I'm gonna pull him out of my bag and whisper to him, and just give him a little message for Yenben real quick, and then I'm gonna just gently set him down behind me so that he can just like scuttle off.
I just have this image in my mind of like, sneak, sneak, whisper, whisper, whisper. Huh!
Just swatting the bugs, you know? Yeah.
But no, the gently setting him down is probably a better choice. And then he's surprisingly sneaky. And he skitters off and goes, and then there's a whole game of charades that probably goes on out of sight between Yenben and just a hand.
Yenben's got a map, right?
So I'm gonna ask John, I guess, to roll a persuasion check just to kind of see how clearly the hand can communicate with just words.
All right. Middle of the road.
Possibly. You know what?
Does Yenben need to roll an insight?
Maybe. Yeah. Sure. Let's go ahead and John, go ahead and roll insight for Yenben.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You've got it there. You've got his character sheet today. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. He's a smart guy.
So Retithris
Totally gets it.
struggled a little bit, but Yenben just kind of gets it. And he gets the idea that you're going to Mesro, or that you're headed towards Mesro, and all that stuff.
Okay.
So Yenben is probably going to head back to the party and try to fill the rest of them in and rendezvous at a distance. What are... So anything else that you want to do with this group before you head out with them? Before we kind of shift focus?
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself just in case of emergency anythings.
Yeah, that's usually a good idea. It only lasts 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, but it's a cantrip, so I can just keep cantripping.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna do that, and then
I think the acolyte sees you do that and then cast guidance on themselves.
yeah, it's a good idea, right, dudes?
Anyway. Anything else?
I don't know what their response is to that. If I tell them, yeah, it was a good idea, right? They're just like,
I think the acolyte was kind of doing it in a, like, I'm sticking my tongue out at you. Haha, I can do that too. No need to show off kind of way.
okay. I just kind of like laugh back and say, okay, buddy.
Basically, that is the correct response. Cool. Anything else?
I think that pretty much covers it.
All right, sounds good. So let's shift focus back over to the group. What have all of y'all been up to waiting?
Probably not a whole lot.
Do you want to clean up from last night?
Yeah, probably would have been. I probably played around a little bit, and then like, oh no, wait, there's people nearby, so got to keep
Building
a low profile.
sandcastles with the butt.
Yeah, because like seeing like how big I can make it, how small I can make it, but then it's like, oh right, on the clock, gotta do my best to level them out and make small talk with John. Like, so they're doing okay. Will we know? Kind of worried. Do we go after them? Do we wait?
I think we'll be fine. My right hand is with them.
I thought it was your left
my left hand.
Yeah.
My left hand. My right hand is right here.
Well,
he's your right hand man, but he's your left hand.
It gets confusing when his name is Retithris.
Wait, is Retithris... Do they have a gender identity?
Since it's my hand, it's probably... I mean, is it hand a gendered creature? Probably a guy, but because it came off a guy.
No, that's your call. It's your familiar.
I mean, I'd say only because it was...
What are its pronouns? It, they, them, his?
Hand and fingers.
I mean, those were
pronouns.
its pronouns, but...
I think its pronouns probably just he or it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
he's not really deep in the weeds of a gender crisis right now.
yeah, fair enough.
I don't think it cares.
Valid. It's probably more concerned with, am I alive?
That's true. Where's
Do
my
I
brain?
identify as alive? How do I see?
Yeah.
That is one thing I will say is as Retithris gets further away, you feel an impulse to close your eyes.
I will close my eyes.
And as you do, you are able to perceive what Retithris perceives.
Ooh, including sound, sight. Smell?
The inside of my bag.
So if you continue doing this, when Lila whispered to Retithris the information that she was trying to communicate to Yenben, you could hear it. But only while you're focusing on... Because when you do this, just as it's described in the Find Familiar spell, so there is a range limitation on it. I think it's 1 mile or something. But this is your familiar. It acts as if it were a familiar. So you have to, when you're focusing on on seeing through your familiar senses, you cannot perceive anything using your own at the same time. That's the
I
drawback.
see. Can I talk while I'm...
Well, you can talk as John, but you cannot talk through your familiar.
That's right. Okay, yeah. So I'll probably, when I start seeing this, go, oh, Mordai! Mordai!
Ah! I thought you were sleeping. What? I never seen you sleep before. You just closed your eyes and just stopped moving. I thought you were sleeping.
Mordai! Oh, I guess, can I hear Mordai?
No.
Mordai!
You okay? Hello?
I think you're there.
Is this the
If
witch?
you are. There's a...
I'm
I'm looking...
gonna cast Eldritch Blast around him. Kind of like hit the night hang. Like, it's back.
John
I'm
can't
looking through my
feel
hand.
it or see it.
I'm looking through my hand, Mordai.
Stop.
Mordai. I'm a hand.
What?
I'm a hand, Mordai. I'm in a bag.
Hello? I'm gonna
I've never
grab
been in
his
a bag
shoulder and
before.
like shake him a bit. Like, you okay?
I think I just
Medical
like,
help?
as you shake me, I just like fall back. I'm just like still in
Oh,
the
no.
seated cross like position, just on my back now.
Ah.
Mordai, I think they have a message for us. What's the message, Lila?
Yeah, what did you whisper to Retithris?
Trading a spell with the mercenaries going to Mesro. One day towards Mesro.
She said trading herself with the mercenaries, heading
A
to
spell.
Mesro.
A spell.
You can't hear it. You can't hear it, Lila.
Be there
Oh, no.
in was it 1 day? I think it was a day. I'm so excited.
Be there in a day? That is also not what she said.
We got to get there quick. And then we're going to come out of my hand.
You're gonna come out, Mordai just hovering above you. Like, are you okay?
Mordai, whoa.
Ah.
That was a hand, Mordai.
Magic thing? Is that a you?
I think I'm just very familiar with my other hand. And maybe I have slight connection there.
Amazing.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
But
Magic
did you hear what I
spheres.
said there?
Mesro. A day.
Yes. We'll have to confirm. I don't think Yenben was with Lila there, but we'll have to confirm with him.
All right. I think then we'll pack up,
Pack up and start heading into
packing
Mesro.
up, and then wait. See if and Ben.
I agree. Can we, from where we are, I guess we can't see Yenben at all.
No, they would have gone out of sight.
Yeah, okay.
But Retithris is with Yenben right now, unless Retithris
that's
were to
right.
sneak back to Lila. I think that might be a little too risky, so Yenben might keep
Yeah,
Retithris with him.
I think. Oh, yep. There he is. Yenben's with Retithris. So
And it should be fine. There's like what 10 people in heavy armor walking through the jungle. They should be easy enough to track at the very least.
They're pretty easy to spot, yeah.
Issue is,
Hey.
us not being seen.
Yeah, 2 dinosaurs are also very easy to see in the jungle.
Yeah, well, we're far enough back, so if we're like couple hours behind them, it should be okay.
So do you guys want to pack up and head out right away then? Or do you wait for Yenben to get back?
Yes, we'll wait for Yenben.
Now that we have something, I can finish cleaning up the camp, and then we'll.
So you guys get ready to go so you can leave as soon as Yenben gets there. And so eventually Yenben shows up. He communicates to the group what he believes the message to be, with the lack of clarity that would have come from it all being done with one-handed hand signals. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
How convinced is John that he heard correctly over what Yenben communicates to the group?
Well, probably follow John's words. That was full common. So
Fair.
either way, we're just going to be following that party until Lila sneak away.
Well, let's look at the map and see how far it is to travel to
That's a good idea.
Metro.
On the map, you can see that it would be at least one night to get to Mesro. You might be able to make it there the following day if you move really quickly. Or if you guys were to go by canoe, you could probably go faster, but you guys don't have those. You never got them in Port Nyanzara. Although you do know someone that does have some rowboats.
The Flaming Fist.
Well,
Yep.
I think we would have to go back to the port anyway just to get the start of the track to start tracking them. So I don't know what the proper tracking technique is, but we'll probably wait until noon or a little after noon before we head to the port and then start tracking from there. I don't know, like real life tracking or D&D tracking. It would be a Yenben question.
Yeah, let's get Yenben to make a survival check and see how that goes.
Yenben survival.
So this is a survival to plan the tracking?
Sure.
Just to see, because I don't know if we needed to go to the town or if we can track from the side. I think that's exactly how tracking works.
If Yenben knows where they are going, then he can track, period. Right?
Well, that's a
Nice.
a nat 2028.
That is a yes.
Yeah.
So Yenben is very confident that he can track. He can kind of intercept behind them, like sort of. Yes, you guys can backtrack and go to Port Castigliar and track them that way, but he knows where they're going and which route they can go on. So he's very confident that he can just sort of intercept where they're going to be without being detected and not lose any time. Like he knows the most efficient route that he can track them with.
That sounds good to me. Yenben hasn't led us astray yet, so I'm gonna. Yenben's
I'm
a
going to
tracker.
let that be the navigation check as well. So,
alrighty,
you guys get that navigation check. So, I'm also, if you guys are going to try to follow this party of people, I would like you to roll I would like everybody to roll a stealth check.
All right, because I don't think we'd be gonna roll it, but I don't think we'd be close enough to even be in sight of them or sound
yet. Right.
Yes, and
so you guys are packing up. Yenben gets there. You start moving.
I was gonna say wait till like afternoon or whatever, right? Give them the head start.
You don't want to lose too much time because you still need to travel, right? And if the colder the trail is, the harder it is to track.
All right, I'm gonna follow the number's 28, so I can't argue with that.
Right. So yeah, everybody roll stealth, and Lila, I will have you roll a deception check to distract the Flaming Fist from any indications that might be your party. Kind of
Okay.
giving them disadvantage on their perception. Ooh, more
Right
die.
on.
Very deceptive. Very, very deceptive.
So sneaky. So sneaky.
We got a
So-
23.
So I am not very distracting, but they are also not very loud.
Seems like. And then we also need a stealth check for John. Okay.
The clunky one. He's at the back.
And
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything planned, and I'm sorry if I'm interrupting, but since we are moving, are we have to roll on the counters ourselves and that group, or is it just going to be like a hand wavy? Okay, that smile and nod. I'll just.
So the let's have their survival check to see how quickly they move. I gotta pull up their Scouty boy. Oh, come on, miscellaneous humanoid, show me. So we're gonna do a survival check.
That's actually pretty good.
So they chose to move at a fast pace, but on the D4, they did not roll high enough to accomplish that. So only one tile. Why is it doing that? So since you guys are following them, you also only move one tile. And then it comes time for night, and we're going to turn our attention right back over to Lila and crew. And Henry is going to come up to you and say, "So, thank you for the good berries. They were delicious. Also, make sure that you mark off that first level spell if you haven't already."
Yeah.
How exactly does this protection from evil and good thing need to work? Like how are we doing this?
So I'm going to try to go to sleep, which shouldn't be too difficult because I haven't really had a rest in about 3 days now. And while I'm sleeping, I'm going to dream. I go. You should be able to tell when I'm in the dream if the hag is touching me. When she's touching me, you can interrupt her with the protection from evil.
Okay. So you want me to wait until it looks like you're having a nightmare? Is that it? Are you a screamer? Can you talk in your sleep?
Did the guys say anything else to me about the way that I looked when I was sleeping that I can convey to this young prestige?
I don't know. I think there probably were some signs of distress. What would you guys have communicated to her? She was probably thrashing a little bit. Would have looked like she was trying to run while laying down. Would you guys have communicated any of that?
Yeah, you looked like a dog when you were sleeping last night. You know, where they start getting a nightmare and they just start running into spot.
Okay.
It was so
Thanks,
cute
man.
until we found out it was a hag.
It was really good until it wasn't.
So that's what the guys told you. What do you tell Henry?
I'm not going to tell him that it was cute, but so I will tell Henry. It does seem like I try to move. I haven't sleepwalked, but they said I was sleep running.
Like you got up and run?
No, like my legs were moving in my sleep. Like I was very obviously
Okay.
trying to go somewhere. I was just horizontal.
So, you need me to stay up all night, don't you?
Well, hopefully not all night. She hasn't wasted much time before.
Okay. All right. Because I need to get my rest in too.
Ah, I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
All right. So, you know what? I'm going to go into my bedroll and I'm going to I'll pretend to sleep. And then if the night hag comes and I can hear you, then it won't be then because if I'm sitting here just staring at you waiting for this hag to cast a spell on you or whatever it's doing, then the night hag might not come.
Well, I would just say, I mean, I don't want to make this any more uncomfortable than it has to be. But if your bedroll is very far away across the campfire, you might not get here in time.
As the DM, I will say the ability that she uses on you, she needs to be touching you for an hour.
Okay. So
even if he's across the camp and you're running and you're thrashing and he hears you, he would have an hour he would have like 59 minutes that he could.
Okay. All right, it's gonna be all right.
Right.
Fair enough. Understood. Okay. I didn't know how long her spell was.
But it's probably good to tell him that, he needs to interrupt it right away.
Yeah. Well, then we can all go back to
If
bed.
he casts it prematurely and you're just having a regular nightmare, it only lasts a minute, and then the hag comes, that would suck.
But if I guess it just depends on the timing. Like if the hag decides to show up in those 10 minutes, it might be okay.
So when the hag is on the ethereal plane, they can see things on the material plane. They're just not visible to us on the material plane.
They suck.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Anyway, well, so I'm encouraging him to not be too far away anyway.
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
That's probably for the best. And I guess Lila is just gonna try to lie down and now is it summer in Chult? Is it like summer here where it's light forever, or is it dark?
Oh
or
no,
what is our status?
it is an equatorial place. It is always summer. They don't have summer. They have wet and dry. Or they have wet and more wet, really.
I mean, fair, but okay, so is it dark? I guess is what I'm trying to ask you. Is it dark right now, or is it still kind of?
It always gets dark at the same time. I would say it's starting to get dark. It gets dark a lot earlier in Chult than it would during our summers. That's for sure.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, just checking in on that. All right. Well, she's gonna. It's getting dark, so I mean, she's gonna try to read a book for a little while, and then kind of gives up and just lays there, just being tired but trying to go to sleep. Everybody knows that feeling. Just.
So I just rolled your encounters for tonight. I rolled one for the Flaming Fist, and I rolled one for you guys. And I'm going to take a picture of this because it's absurd.
Whoa.
Okay.
The exact same one? They got 2 ones?
Remember, on a 15 or higher, it means an encounter happens.
Okay.
So I'm just going to share this in the Discord, and then I'm going to tell everybody at home that on my 2 die, I rolled a 20 and a 19.
Spicy.
So now I have to
Okay.
figure out what those encounters are. This might take a minute, but
You want to pause while you figure out how to do the counter with like a dozen flaming fist?
also having encounters happen for both parties at the same time feels weird. So
Oh, we split the party. Well,
we
yeah,
split the party.
we collectively split the party. You helped too, GM.
I did not
So-
want to.
I know.
I
I
tried.
did this to myself. I did. So, you know what? It's a big group of people. I'm going to say it's a big group of people, but Lila is with them. So, it is up to you guys. There's going to be 2 encounters happening, but you guys rolled really well on your stealth. So, do you take on one of these encounters, or do you watch as both encounters hit the flaming fist?
And then we kill the flaming fist. That's a good option.
So we're going to take a quick break here and deliberate,
Get in bed.
and we will be back in just a
No.
moment. And welcome back. We just realized what time it is, and so we're actually going to call it a session there. I will prep these encounters between sessions, give these lovely folks some time to sort of figure out what they want to do. Hopefully, Treviathan will be back next week, and we can go from there. So thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time, and watch out for the jungle.
Yes, the jungle is very sneaky.
Hello, everyone. You thought we were done, didn't you? But I have one little secret left. Down in the southwest quadrant of Chult somewhere, we see, in the wee hours of the morning, our peg-legged witch appears from the ethereal plane and walks into an underground. Is it a temple? Is it a tomb? Some kind of sandstone structure. Ancient in make. She walks down past traps and corridors and eventually arrives many floors down at a sanctum. Sisters! Sisters! I come bearing gifts! And she holds up a collection of hair, one of which we know to be that of Lila's. Bloody clumps and messes. She hands it off to another sister, whose head is covered in a burlap sack. And that she begins sifting through. Wonderful, sister, wonderful, good. Yes, many, many. Do we have any favorites? Yes, the sister says. Our peg-legged sister. She grabs Lila's. I hunted this one for 2 days before I found out what I wanted. And what was that, sister? She waves her hand and plays the sound of Yenben's speech.
Right now, we are looking for information while people ain't dying, right?
Well, why didn't you just kill them? I have more important things to spend my time on. I can't be out there all the time. The baby needs me. sister. And the burlap-headed sister says, yes, fine. But then why spend 2 days? What was so important? She was interesting. A half-orc druid with scars. But anyway, now that we know what they're after, we must eliminate them. So I decided to outsource it. I'm sending a message tonight. I'm sure they'll be... If the dangers of the jungles don't deal with them, then I'll make sure that someone is watching for them at Port 9 when they return. Then we'll decide whether or not they're a real threat. Very well, sister. Very well. Now it's your turn to change the baby.